So living off-grid on my own land has led to the opportunity to make some decisions that I'm not quite used to making. So for example, I'm sitting here enjoying this beautiful view from my bedroom and thinking about whether I want to take down some of these branches that would clear the view. So do I want to take down these ones that have some beautiful healthy leaves on them, or do I want to take down some of these sticks, or do I just want to leave it the way God is designing it? I don't know. Decisions. So, in reflecting on a course I've been taking as part of my doctoral journey this year called The Texture of Time, in which we've been reflecting on a variety of theoretical and philosophical and scientific explanations of what time is and how time is experienced and processed by the human psyche. I want to share some moments about my experience of time in the Guatemalan jungle, particularly in honor of this year, solar year, that is starting from last winter solstice and coming up on the upcoming winter solstice. I started the solar year in the Guatemalan jungle, and I will, after coming out of the jungle and entering a full-on academia world, I will return to the jungle for this closing out of the solar and Gregorian year. So I'll be sharing some scenes from the jungle because I imagine most of you are already familiar with what the world of academia and rushing about according to a more high-pressured capitalist form of time looks like. So just to explain what's happening here, according to Mayan law, if you truly are the owner and guardian and steward of a plot of land, you must keep the brush cleared, or the assumption is that the land has been abandoned. So this is me and this incredible abuelo clearing the jungle overgrowth, and who knows how many days that took. I want to share with you the experience of time in the Guatemalan jungle, because it's not the time that is on our watches or calendars or phones. It's a time that is lived and felt. Here you can see in my hands, which I'm laughing about. It's a time that's breathed and witnessed. My year began in the Guatemalan jungle, living off grid on the land, far from clocks and schedules and artificial light. And it moved into this structured academic time of a doctoral program in a capital city. And I found myself very far all of a sudden from my adopted jungle home, both in place and time, where time was suddenly cataloged and compartmentalized and ordered and dissected. And across the various experiences of living many years in the Guatemalan jungle, I discovered that time is not singular. It's almost, in a way, elemental. It shifts with consciousness, with the land, and with culture. Henri Bergson calls this duration, time felt from within rather than measured from outside. Duration isn't chopped into minutes. It's a continuous flow. Days blend gently into one another, not as units, but as lived textures. And so you can see here, I'm doing my work as an aquatic therapist in the crater lake of Lake Atitlan. In theory, an aquatic therapy session might take about an hour, but as we enter into the immersive experience, we're carried by the experience itself, and it takes however long it needs to. And so the question moves or shifts from how long does an activity take to how long is needed. How long is needed to build a fence or free a trapped hummingbird? Take you outside, okay? How long is needed to rescue a lost mountain puppy and watch her grow from very tiny to fully grown? One important aspect of the experience of time in Guatemala is the sky, and what I like to call sky television. Sky television is when you have the opportunity to watch slow but constant moving and shifting of the celestial spheres and the Milky Way and the shadows of the sun as it sets and the shifting of the clouds, the pattern of the winds on the water. Time is experienced through attentiveness to the natural place, including space. Through my nightly sky watching, I began to perceive what J.T. Fraser calls aotemporality and cosmic temporality, time governed by astronomical cycles, time that is far slower than human life, but deeply patterned. I found myself entering moments of atemporality, where time seemed to dissolve entirely. This happens during meditation, fire tending, and long nights of listening to the jungle breeze. These experiences were not mystical in an abstract sense. They were encounters with layers of time that most modern environments obscure. The sky becomes a calendar, a compass, and a teacher. For me, it became a reminder that time is not just chronological, it is cosmological. I entered what Jean Gebser calls the integral structure of consciousness, a transparency where multiple temporalities coexist. Jungle time taught me that time is not linear but layered. How long does it take to rid oneself of what Mark Rifkin calls settler time? Time imposed through colonial domination, replacing land-based temporalities with rigid systems of control that become internalized. Time that insists on checking your watch or measuring productivity, the urge to rush. Settler time colonizes not only land, but also the body and the nervous system and the imagination. Reclaiming an experience of time that is cyclic, cosmic, biological, cultural, embodied, and deeply relational is a form of sovereignty. And it comprises what Mark Rifkin calls temporal sovereignty. And so I return to the jungle again, not just as a place, but as a temporal teacher, a reminder that time can be expansive, slow, cyclical, liberating, and deeply alive. Thank you.